Hey everybody, welcome to another collaboration video with Caleb again. As always, I'm going to give you my take on this topic, and then Caleb will give you his take on the topic, and I'll make sure to post a link to his video down in the description below, or if you follow me on Facebook, I'll definitely provide a link somewhere on my page before or after this video that I'm making right now for you, or you're watching right now. And so let's get going here. Today's topic is films, actors, and actresses that are good, but they need some better scripts. They're definitely in need of you know better movies in general. Whether they're just not very good at choosing scripts, or they just they're in a point in their career where they're just trying to take anything to make a movie. I feel these six people that I'm going to share with you today, three actors and three actresses, are all in need of some better scripts. They're good and talented people, but they need to be in some bigger, better scripts in order to, I think, make it into much bigger and better things. And some of these people have been in some good stuff recently, but it's one of those things where like they'll be in one good movie and then like their next two or three movies will be awful. Then they'll be in a good movie again. Then like another three or four movies they make after that will be bad. There's a lot of people that very much match that scenario here that I'm going to discuss with you today. And then once again, for all these collaboration videos, Caleb will give you his take on the topic. Please make sure you saw his video. And if Caleb brought you here to see my video, thank you for watching this video too. So for actresses, the first person I want to talk about is Cameron Diaz, terrific actress. I watched her since the Mask in the '90s when she started off as an actress. Very talented woman, very attractive woman. Very generous woman. She seems like a very nice woman to be around. But unfortunately, the problem with Cameron Diaz is she'll make one good movie or she'll, give one good performance. But then, like, the next two or three films she makes are completely awful. Um, I know that earlier this year she was in The Other Woman, which really didn't look that good to me. I could be completely wrong. I didn't see it. From what I did see of it from clips and trailers, it really didn't look very good. And from what I've heard about it, it didn't sound like it was very good. I know she's going to be in the remake of Annie coming up soon, and she's going to be in the Sex Tape with Jason Segel and a couple other ones, but nothing like, oh, I got to see that right now kind of thing. But yeah, I do think Cameron Diaz, I don't know if she's just one of those actresses where, she wants to be in as many movies as she can per year, so, people are always seeing her and stuff. Or is she trying to take the approach where she sees a good script, or maybe she sees a good idea for a script and immediately signs on without looking through it? I don't know what's going on, but I do think if she did take the approach of, I'm going to look around, this script really does seem very good. This director attached seems very talented. I want to sign on to that one. I think if she was more smarter with that strategy, I think she would be in much bigger, better films than what she's currently doing now. That's just my opinion. Once again, I love Cameron Diaz. I love seeing her act. She's a very attractive, very talented young woman. I think she's either in her 40s or going into her 40s pretty soon here. But she still has everything that we know her for since the beginning. And I really hope that in the future she signs on to some bigger, better scripts. Because once again, I think she's a very talented woman who could do much better than what she's currently signing on to now. The next person I want to talk about, she's been in some really good ones. In fact, she was recently in a film last year that got a lot of attention. Some people thought it had a strong chance of winning Best Picture, and unfortunately did not, which is really too bad because I thought this film, Gravity, was very good. That person is Sandra Bullock. Once again, Gravity was amazing, but she's also been in some garbage. She's been in The Heat. She's been in All About Steve. She's been in Speed 2, Cruise Control. She's been in some really terrible ones. Um, but like once again, she's been in some great ones. I love the film Speed. I love the film Demolition Man. I love the film The Blind Side. I love Gravity. Um, Even The Proposal, which not a lot of people liked. I could at least sit through that one compared to like The Heat and all that other garbage that she's done. Um, but yeah, Sandra Bullock's another one too, where she's a very generous woman. She seems like she's very nice around people. Like even at big events like the Oscars, she's always very concerned about people. If something bad's going on, she wants to go up and give them a hug and things like that. She's one of those kind of people. Very very cool. I think that's a very neat thing that she does. I think it's very neat that she definitely puts her heart and soul into every role that she takes on. Really does try to do something interesting with it. But once again, though, I think Sandra Bullock is one of those people where she'll just kind of sign on to anything that comes her way, which is really too bad because then we get crap like The Heat and crap like All About Steve and all the stuff that because I think there was one year, yeah, it was The Blind Side. Whatever year The Blind Side came out, which I think was 2009. That same year, she was nominated for Best Actress and Worst Actress because she was in All About Steve for that year. Um, yeah, she's just one of those actresses where I don't know what her strategy is for signing on to all that stuff. Kind of like Cameron Diaz, I think if she strategically planned out stuff like I'm going to be in Gravity because it's going to be big, it has a big name director, it's going to revolutionize special effects and things like that. I really want to see Sandra Bullock in more roles like that than things like The Heat and All About Steve and stuff that we really don't need to see her in. Once again, I don't know what Cameron Diaz and Sandra Bullock have for a plan as far as signing on to movies go, but I really think it needs to be revised because I think they're both very talented ladies, and I would really like to see them in bigger, better films. The next person, which is also the last actress we're going to talk about in this video, is Katherine Heigl. I thought she had a very good performance in Knocked Up, and unfortunately, we really haven't seen her done anything good since Knocked Up. And that's really too bad because, like Sandra Bullock and Cameron Diaz, she's very attractive, she's very talented, she's very good about timing with comedy and being cool or being, tough on a situation, things like that. I really do think, though I did hear she is a little hard to work with from some directors and producers, but I do think Katherine Heigl does deserve some better scripts. I think if she was in some films that, are just better in general, because I mean, let's face it, what was that one she was in? Life as We Know It and One for the Money and Killers, all these really, really terrible, stupid movies. Once again, I think if she just found some better scripts, took her time, really found a script that has a character in it that really matches her acting abilities and her acting style, and maybe that character is meant to be really attractive and things like that. I think Katherine Heigl would have a better career. I think she would enjoy her acting career more, and us as an audience would enjoy seeing her in bigger, better films. So Katherine Heigl was another actress I think that fits that. Nicolas Cage is somebody that's been getting a lot of crap over the past few years. Yes, he did run into some financial trouble and he signed on to as many movies as he can, so I know exactly what his strategy was around that time. And that's really too bad because Nicolas Cage is one of those actors where he has a tendency to do really bad improv with movies. He's not a good actor for good improv. But when it does come to, good content, good scripts, him really understanding which character he's playing, I do think he's a very good actor when it comes to that stuff. Once again, though, he signs on to a lot of films these days. He signs on to anything that any director will basically hand over to him. And that's really too bad because, he used to be in films like Adaptation and Face Off and Raising Arizona and these really, really huge films. And he's unfortunately in generic piles of crap like that one that he did that it was basically Taken, but with Nicolas Cage called Stolen. He was in that like Next, and he was in some really really bad ones. So Nicolas Cage, we love you, man, but you gotta stop just randomly signing on to any script that comes your way. I think you would have a better career, though I don't know how good or bad his financial situation is anymore. I would love to see him in more films like Kick-Ass. I would love to see him in more things like Adaptation. These really creative, really independent and small kind of movies that were just really, really creative. I know that the film Joe, I guess, recently was pretty big for him. I guess a lot of people said that that was his return to form. I hope that's the case because I would love to see Nicolas Cage in bigger, better films again. He's even the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola. Um, this actor has been pretty much done for the past several years, which is really too bad because I do think Val Kilmer is a pretty neat guy. He's been in some pretty good films. He's a pretty good actor for the most part, but he's been in some crap. He hasn't really been in anything these days, and any film he is in is just pretty forgettable and bad. I mean, he used to be in The Heat. He used not that stupid one with Sandra Bullock. He was in one just called Heat by Michael Mann, and it had Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in it. He was in Top Gun, which I also really enjoyed. But unfortunately, those are probably his only two like absolutely amazing kind of movies that he's been in. Batman Forever was kind of his fall from fame, pretty much, I would say. So Val Kilmer, please sign on to some better films. You're a much better actor than things like MacGruber and things like Twixt and things like Delgo and all these really stupid movies that came out over the past few years. So, Val Kilmer, you need to get in better shape because you're getting a little chubby, you're getting a little old. I know you can't prevent age, but I think you can prevent, getting fat because you're getting really fat. And I think, yeah, we need to see you in some better films. So sorry, bud. We need to see you in bigger, better films again. Then the last person I'm going to talk about in this entire video is Dan Aykroyd. He was in some classics. He did Ghostbusters. He was in Blues Brothers. He was in. I actually really enjoyed 50 First Dates, where he played the doctor. I thought he was hilarious in that movie. Dan Aykroyd's another one too, where he just kind of fell off the planet. He kind of was just, he's been in Yogi Bear and that new animated Oz film that should have been direct to video, but it was released in theaters. Dan Aykroyd needs to be in some better scripts. He's still in the film industry, which is great. I love seeing him in movies, but please be in some better movies. We need to see you in bigger, better films. What happened to Ghostbusters 3? What happened to, films that remind us of Blues Brothers and things like that? So, Dan Aykroyd, please be in some better movies. So that's my take on the subject, you guys. Feel free to, or please do watch Caleb's take on this topic here, and hope to see you here for future videos.